Welcome to the Higher Ed AV podcast. My name is BC Hatchett, and I will be your host for today's episode. We are talking with Jeff Meyer with Inogeni, kind of doing a little bit of a InfoComm 2025 wrap up. Everybody's finally back home and hopefully getting a little bit of rest, and your feet are getting back to normal, and voices are getting back to normal. So good to finally be home, but also, Jeff, good to catch up with you. How's it going today?
It's going great. Yeah, thanks, BC. It's good to be back home. Like you said, it's been a long week, but a great week at InfoComm and so much going on. So pretty exciting times.
Very much so. And Jeff, I heard you guys had a fantastic show this year. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what Inogeny had?
Yeah. So for all of you that don't know us, I think a lot of you know us these days, but we're a smaller company based out of Canada, and we're mostly an engineering company. We're designing and engineering AV products, and our categories that we talk about are mix, switch, convert, and extend over primarily to USB. And so we've got just a lot of really good solutions for AV in general, and in particular for higher ed. And I would say in the last year we've probably done more to focus on higher ed
Mhm.
solutions than ever. We introduced a 5-year warranty, just flat across the board, in support primarily for higher ed, because most of the time that's a requirement wherever you are across the globe. But also just in general, AV solutions that we're coming out with, pretty exciting stuff. And we just launched 4 new products at InfoComm this year, and I would say at least 2 of them, maybe more, I would say have mostly a higher ed focus on it.
Okay, very cool, Jeff. So what makes these two products, I guess, stand out for the higher ed environment?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that a lot of people, what they know us for are mixers and selectors. We have this really cool product called the Share 2U. If you haven't used it or haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. It's all about getting 2 images on screen at the same time, so you can get the presenter and the audience, or the presenter and content on screen at the same time, side by side view or picture in picture. And when that gets outputted over Teams, and the remote users can see and see what's going on. They're very active as remote users, and you're not losing these remote students or anybody who's having to remote into a general meeting
Mhm.
at a campus. That increases engagement. That's what teachers want. They want their students to be engaged wherever they are, and so that's great. But one of the things that the Share 2U didn't really accommodate for was the fact that we have these cameras positioned in all over the places, in classrooms and meeting rooms. And there's a big push, I would say, more in the higher ed space and than traditional corporate AV, to utilize IP cameras.
Okay.
So we've come out with this really cool product now called the IP to USB converter. And so we're known for converters. We do, HDMI to USB, SDI to USB, and lots of flavors in between. This is our first IP to USB converter. And what it'll allow you to do is connect an NDI camera and use that as a means to extend to wherever you need to be for the equipment. So you can now use standard networking cable,
Mhm.
attach a switch to our converter so that you can attach multiple cameras and multiple streams, and attach that to a compute at the other end. And there's other features and benefits of that solution, but that's I would say is one of our highlight products that we launched at InfoComm. Launched as in we revealed. We're going to be shipping it probably in November this year.
Okay.
I think that'll be a great problem solver for the likes of yourselves that are creating solutions for classrooms in
Very
high.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one thing I definitely picked up on the show this year. It seemed like all the manufacturers and vendors, they really had tightened up their portfolio. I know in the years past, especially coming out of some of the weirdness, there was ideas everywhere. We're going to have this cool product this quarter or next quarter, but it seems like this year, especially what you're talking about with this product coming out in October, everybody's kind of streamlined, tightened up, and we have a better expectation on what to look for as long as with new products and supply chains.
Yeah. Yeah, no, indeed. I felt the same way. There was a lot of really interesting solutions that came out that I haven't gotten around to all of it yet, but there seems to be some really spot on solutions that are coming out that are sort of net new. It's not just like copy paste; it's net new stuff that hasn't been introduced before. I would say the other thing that we're really helping with in higher ed is BYOD, BYOM,
Hmm.
and a lot of people have been standardizing on our Toggle Rooms and Toggle Rooms XT for creating a real simple USB-C connection to the room with power. And so we had two solutions up until InfoComm: a Toggle Rooms, which was more for smaller spaces, and Toggle Rooms XT, which was for bigger spaces, because it had two boxes with allowing you to attach devices 70 meters distance from, say, an MTR, with full DisplayPort alt mode capabilities and power and everything. Really cool. But those are for more bigger rooms. They're a little bit more expensive. We just launched a new one, and this is going to be out in October, called Toggle Dock. And Toggle Dock is really just a BYOD 100% solution. So no MTR in the room. And this is going to be great for those little huddle spaces around the campus that you're creating, where you want to allow a few students just to plug in to a laptop, maybe bring in another student from somewhere else who couldn't make it remotely, and you can run the meeting from your laptop. That's what it's all about. And it's
Hmm.
going to be eventually network manageable. So that solution, together with our other Toggle Rooms, will have eventually a cloud-based software that gives you one pane of glass to manage all these devices and not have to go room to room to administer these devices. So we're really excited about that product. It's a lower price point, so it's a real easy entry into
Okay.
BYOD and BYOM, and that's going to be coming out in October. So those are the two, I would say, big ones.
Hmm.
And then we have a third one that's just an iteration of our existing product. We came out with our new uBridge 3 in December, and it's a full USB 3.2 extender. Gives you 100
Okay.
meters distance, 320 feet. And we just introduced a wall plate version for the device side. So it's a real nice, clean way to install a camera in a room. So if you get a nice Decora wall plate that you can install instead of a box that you have to hide away or something like that. So
Gotcha.
that's coming out also in July. So yeah, those
Very
are
cool, Jeff.
three highlights I would say for higher ed. We also have another product called the USB-C uBridge. It's a DisplayPort alt mode extender.
Hmm.
Really cool product. That's going to be coming out in November, but limited use case to I would say, well, compared to the other products to higher ed, there'll be some use case, but not 100%. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, Jeff, sounds like you guys definitely have a lot going on, especially on the USB side, and I know with all the camera devices and collaboration devices, that's a huge thing. So, if our audience kind of wants to connect with you and get to know more about Inogeni, how can they do that?
They just go to inogeni.com,
Mhm.
inogeni.com, and we've got a lot of useful content on our site. But don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can get it to us at sales@inogeni.com. If you have any questions about any of our products, we're pretty good at responding quickly. And yeah, I mean, let us know what are you trying to resolve out there? What are the problems that you have? We'd love to hear about that.
Very cool, Jeff. Well, appreciate the time. Glad you're recovering nicely from InfoComm, and we'll connect again soon.
Likewise, thanks so much for inviting us to be with you today.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.